start from on behalf of myself and my family and the entire Florida Panther organization, our deepest sympathies and condolences to Mark Scheifele, his family, and the Winnipeg Jet family. Scheifele family is very close. But I think just as an observation from last night, the display of courage and focus for Mark to do what he did, and possibly an even greater display of the power of the family of the Scheifele family, but the Winnipeg Jet family, for him to have played with his brothers, and that extends out to the Scott Arniel and Kevin Cheveldayoff and Mark Chipman and all the Winnipeg Jet fans built a culture of family there that allowed that inspiration to happen. So again, our thank you to them for that display, and also our condolences to them. If you would be so kind, we'll leave it at that. I don't think it's my place to take questions on that.
Well, it's a difficult pivot after that. But
I understand. I'm asking you to, so please, thank you.
From a hockey perspective tonight for you, as a coach, what is this like? What can you even do on a day like today, knowing the finality of a Game 7 of where this could go in either direction for either team?
You're just trying to frame the minds in a positive way. There's a certain freedom that comes into Game 7. Your work's done, right? Like, once that video goes up and you've said your speech and puck drops, and now you get to just play. So just kind of watching the room, feeling the vibe. It's always the same. Game 7s are completely different than any other game. It's a different context. There's obviously a positive excitement and an energy in there. There's every cliche that you've ever heard, nothing to save it for, or whatever. It's all true, right? It's the best part of our game. It's different too because it's a 7-game series, so each team has earned it. They've earned their Game 7. They've earned the right to go out and play with that kind of freedom.
Brad is going into his 13th Game 7, which is going to be hard.
God.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, we talk so much about experience and situations.
Yeah.
To have a guy who has been through, I think, 6% of the NHL's Game 7s ever.
That's crazy. Well, I hope what it is, how much he can share, and that can, rub off on his teammates, who knows. But it's certainly, as you get older, you will appreciate it, right? There's not 13 more, where that would be impressive, to say the least. So that awareness, we had that going back a couple of years. We had Eric Stahl in a Game 7, and Kyle Okposo in a Game 7. Those players understand the joy of it, right? You get to go have the game. Like, nobody ever in the backyard rink said, hey, it's Game 3, right? Or even in the summer, right? The bases are loaded, it's bottom of the ninth always when you dream about it. So that's what we're presented with today, so we should be able to enjoy that.
Well, what do you think's the best thing for players to do basically between now and puck drop? Is it to like lock in and focus and watch film? Is it to go relax? Like, I guess, what do you think? Is it different for
Just
every
be
person?
true to yourself. There are guys that'll have to settle on an alarm because that's the way they're built. Some guys will be bouncing off the walls all afternoon because just be who you are. Handle your day. We talk about that all the time, but don't overhandle your day. It's still just hockey.
Well, obviously this team the last 2 years has won Game 7s on the road and at home, but when you're on the road, is it different? Because obviously you have the bus rides and the hotel, the team's kind of a tight unit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, I think it all depends on how connected your team is. If you get a tight group, and I guess probably everybody feels they do, right? Nobody's saying, oh, these guys don't really like each other today. But if you got a tight group, I think there's something nice about it just being them in the room, right? We try to create that environment a lot. I don't know, the puck's going to drop, and away we go. That's all I know about Game 7.
Paul, your team in particular, 2 years ago in the Stanley Cup Final, played through a lot of pain, played through a lot of injuries, your guys. Can you speak to what the hockey player's mindset with injuries in a Game 7 situation, in a playoff situation, and why they do what they do and how they do it?
I think it's a matter, and I don't know football, but because that's a contact sport, I think in order to get to game sevens, or for us in the last couple of years, you get pushed to that kind of final game seven. So many players have played through significant things. And there's an investment in that, right? And it starts to build that culture. I think back 2 years ago, the number of guys the guys that couldn't play had pure broken bones. So there were still 5 guys with broken bones in the lineup. Well, I'll tell you, Radko Gudas, he suffered a high ankle sprain early in game 1 of the final, and it took him 10 minutes to get back to the bench. That's a 6-week injury. Because the thought of him not being there, knowing what the other guys were playing, that he just couldn't live with that. So there's a bond that's created through adversity, through pain, through watching your brothers kind of go through it. They won't let each other down. It's all part of that great culture I think we saw last night. They just won't leave each other.
Paul, any lineup changes tonight?
Oh, maybe. Could sell those 500 empty seats out tonight. See, because there aren't going to be any empty seats out there.
Paul, what did you want to get out of this morning? Why an optional skate? What are you looking to do when you're out there with the guys?
I would watch probably from the airplane to this morning to get a feel for where we're at. If I felt they needed to be really connected, I'd stuff all of them on the ice. It was a full 8 minutes. So there's nothing that's going to happen on the ice that was important unless I felt there was, and there wasn't.
Why did you want to get out there?
What's that?
Why did you want to kind of get out there today?
I do it by numbers. Cutoff's 13. So less than 13, I don't go on the ice. 13 or more, I go on the ice. That's all.
We saw Evan Rodriguez out there today.
Yeah.
And how's he feeling?
I think he's feeling pretty good. How you feeling? You look good.
Paul, before you got to Florida, 26 years of existence, they'd won 4 series. You've won many more since then. I'm just wondering how you feel that new identity that's come in the last few years matters on a daily basis.
That identity was built long before I got here. I was that guy that was born on third and brags about the triple. You know, it had 122 points before I got there, and I coached that down to 92 the next year. So it's there. It's in the men and the way they, and really the other story is Bill Zito and the people that he's brought into our group. Those are the 2 stories that are in our room. So I've gotten so much more in terms of, I've changed how I coach and how I relate to people based on what I've learned from them. It wasn't me coming in and laying my personality on those guys and making them better. The way they treat each other is an incredible thing to be around.
When do you start preparing your Game 7 speech? Do you ever write anything down?
I never write anything down. Because then I would be tied to those words. I would say that I have a general idea, somewhat specific. Sometimes I'll have some words in my head that I'm pretty sure are going to come out. All of it will be what I would feel from yesterday to that time that I walk in the room, or what I think they need. And then my entire goal is to be completely honest with them, to try to open myself up. It wouldn't be the words, it's the feel. And show them exactly how I feel. The words just come, and it's based on, I kind of try to feel what they need, and then I try to tell them how I feel about that, which made no sense. So it'll be tighter than that, I can guarantee you, hopefully. Okay, guys.
All right, thank you.